guys all for coming, and to AJ for being here once again with us.
Thank you so much for coming. So I'm Meredith Mason-Blount. I'm the Executive Director of NAMI New Jersey. And NAMI stands for the National Alliance on Mental Illness for New Jersey. And we are dedicated to improving the lives of individuals and families affected by mental illness. Because 1 in 5 have been diagnosed with a mental illness and they need our support. So that's what NAMI New Jersey does. We advocate, we educate, we support, and most importantly, we provide hope. And that's, if you look around, that's what you all are here today. And I'm so excited that you're here.
What's happening on May the 19th? Anybody know?
It's
a walk, right? That's what we're here for. The walk is great because we'll walk about approximately 3 miles. We'll walk from the north end of Seaside Park on the boardwalk to the south end. Part of that, you'll be able to actually see the ocean without getting sand on your feet. If you want to, you can walk onto the beach and get sand on your feet. Generally, we'll have about 1,000 people, so it'll be really a terrific outpouring of support. And why we're walking is to provide support for NAMI and support for people with mental illness. I have a son who has bipolar disorder, and he's had that since about 2003. He's been stable for quite a while, but that's why I walk, to support my son. We welcome everybody that is here. Bring your friends, bring your relatives. We want to have a lot of people.
Ari, I just want to thank you guys so much for coming out today. And thank you to NAMI New Jersey for inviting me to be a celebrity chair for this year's NAMI Walk. And thank you for... thinking that I'm a celebrity. My mom's really psyched about that. I'm honored not only to join you in this fight to raise awareness of mental health issues, but to be doing so in my home state of New Jersey. So much of my own mental health journey has occurred within this state, and I dedicated a lot of my book to exploring that journey. From the onset of my symptoms occurring within the confining walls of a dirty Jersey motel room to the darkest, lowest point occurring inside a Jersey hospital, to one of the happiest moments of my life, finally getting a diagnosis. All of that happened here. So to think that I might be able to reach another young Jersey girl who is scared of the changes that her mind is going through, who might be confused about where to go for help, to think that I might be one step closer to reaching someone who is as lost as I once was, simply by coming home. As a survivor, that is the most important work that I could ever do. New Jersey made me tough enough and strong enough to navigate my own bipolar disorder diagnosis. And so I will always feel indebted to this state. I want to look after it. I want its people to be able to get the help they need when they need it. I want New Jersey to be progressive and forward-thinking, to view mental health issues as a fundamental part of overall healthcare, as a life-saving subject to teach our children in schools, as a topic worth our time, money, and attention. But most of all, I want New Jersey to continue to represent what it means to be an unafraid badass. I have always been proud of New Jersey's reputation for being loud and brazen and bold. And we need to reinforce that attitude when it comes to the topic of mental health. Because right now, the greatest enemy of mental health issues is the stigma suppressing the conversation. And if there's one thing I know New Jersey is not, it's quiet. So let's make sure we stay loud. Let's make sure we speak up on a topic that silences so many. It can be dangerously easy to become uncomfortable at the mere mention of mental illness, especially for those who have never been personally affected by it. Because it's a natural inclination to fear what we do not understand. But with 1 in 5 adults in the United States being affected by mental illness, odds are you will either encounter it or experience it. If it's not you who's struggling, it could be someone you know, it could be someone you love. But the stigma surrounding the topic has made starting the conversation intimidating. So why is that? Well, most of the time, when we as a society discuss mental health, it's only after a shocking event. Gossip and entertainment websites can turn a celebrity's struggle into salacious and sensitive clickbait. In our current celebrity and social media obsessed world, gossip becomes more weighted. So what about respected and legitimate media outlets? Well, often we only see mental health in our newsfeed after a violent tragedy. So where does that leave us? Where does that leave the employee who wants to ask for a mental health day? Where does that leave the mom who wants to explain her low energy to her kids? Where does that leave the teacher concerned about a student's behavior? Where does that leave the child who so desperately wants to ask for help but is too afraid to be judged or mocked? With social feeds crowded with sensationalized headlines, when we only acknowledge mental health at its most tragic, we are all left either afraid or ashamed. We must be honest and transparent as to the dangers of ignoring and mistreating mental illness. That must be explicit, but we also have a human responsibility not to vilify mental illness, not to place all the blame squarely on its shoulders, because doing so could result in shaming people away from reaching out for treatment and help. We must have fair, well-rounded, and objective conversations about these topics. Personally, I'm not going to sit around and wait for society to look deeper than a scandalous headline, or for people on social media to read an entire article before commenting on it. So what will I do? Every time my voice goes above a socially accepted volume in public, I'm Puerto Rican, my friends say, hey, your New Jersey is showing. So that's what I'm going to keep doing. I'm going to let my Jersey out, full force. I'm going to remain loud and unapologetic. I'm going to try my hardest to populate Google search results with positive stories about people not only living but thriving with mental illness. I'm going to write more books about the gifts my bipolar disorder has given me. I'm going to bring up therapy and my treatment in every damn interview I have. I will walk alongside amazing organizations like NAMI New Jersey, figuratively and literally on May 19th, so I better see you there. I'm going to fight hard to represent what an average person living with a mental illness looks like, sounds like, and acts like. I'm going to do my part every day to shatter the stigma and start the conversation. And I'm going to keep that conversation going until someone tells me to shut up. And then I'm just going to get louder. Also something I learned from New Jersey. I spent so many years of my life afraid to approach the topic of my mental health. I was uneducated, I was intimidated, I was afraid. And because I could not speak up, all I felt was alone. I had no idea that by sharing this honest memoir and my painfully guarded secrets about my diagnosis and my struggles, I would finally feel connected to people. I want to share that feeling. I want to help those struggling know that they are not alone. That is what I'm going to do. So what will you do? Will you join me in that fight? Please walk alongside me on May 19th. Bring a friend, open their mind, and every day before and after, find someone who might be curious or afraid and answer their questions. Help people educate themselves. Find someone who may need help, but who has yet to find the strength to ask for it. Be a voice for the voiceless. Simply leading by example could save a life, and that is the most important work that we can do together. Thank you.
This is where we stand in 2018 for now. Our walk goal is $150,000. Start reaching out to your employer or your spouse's employer or your parents' employers or local businesses, friends and family members who have a business, and ask friends and families. And don't get disheartened if they say no, because all are successful. Because at this point, you're spreading a word for NAMI, their mission, and raising awareness for mental illness. If you're comfortable sharing your story, that's a very good way to go, because people always donate to people. Start the conversation, raise the awareness, fight stigma.
went because it means a lot to me, because I know a lot of people with mental illness, and I think it's something people need to talk about more.
I am starting to walk for anxiety because I have suffered with anxiety for a while now. I would be getting panic attacks, and I just want to let people know that they're not alone and they can do it.
I'm walking for NAMI because I want to bring more awareness to everybody and just help people as much as possible, and I think it's just a really important cause that more people should be aware of.
Hi. We just met AJ Lee, so we're just like shooken up. But this organization I think it's amazing. Not a lot of people talk about this topic. For example, like my family doesn't really talk about this topic a lot because it's very like closed in, and it's kind of a thing that gets put to the side a lot.
Someone may look at me differently because I have autism, and it really it's a good feeling to know that someone like her, who's my hero and my idol in wrestling, she has the same thing in a way that I can relate to, and I want to thank her so much. AJ, thank you so much.
Hi, I'm Joanne. Nice to meet you all. I feel this is a very important event. Mental illness, like AJ was saying, a lot of people are affected and they don't like to speak about it, but I think it's a wonderful event, and hopefully the walk too will help, and everybody that donates will help as well.
Hi everyone, my name is RJ Gallifin. I'm from Atlantic City, New Jersey, and I'm here at NAMI, New Jersey, here in East Brunswick. I am 100% committed to this organization, and I think it's a great cause that is happening right now in terms of the walk and aware of mental illness. In my past life, I've had a whole bunch of issues that I've went through, all my trials, all my storms, and it's really good to have a family or a community of friends or family that you can go to for support or help. So if you ever get the chance, come and support them. It's a really great cause.